Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty, salty language, kings of the sexy frontier. Salty language.
Hey enthusiasts, what's happening? This is Salty Language, episode 524.
Podcast on a network. Almost got that backwards. Almost said the sexiest network on a podcast. What the hell?
Are we launching a network?
Damn it. I was going to wait to the end of the show to talk about it, but no.
Jeez. way to bust early, Tony.
You know, I got to say, I'm looking at myself in the monitor here.
As you do.
And the light, like I have minimal lights on because it's not bad up here, but it's still warmer than I'd want. And the lighting's not bad. I don't think I need as many hot lights on.
No, that's probably true.
It's only like 1, 2 if you count Skullboy back here. No.
Is he on? He doesn't look... Oh. I was going to say, he's looking pretty white tonight, so...
What are you going to do? Hey.
Yeah. I just assumed that was why you had 2 monitors, was so that one of them's just on you the whole time.
Searing heat too. Oh, yeah.
Oh, I know.
They put out so much heat. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I situated them about 6 inches from my face so I could really see myself.
Which is smart. Right? Well, you get yourself a nice tan while you're staring at yourself there.
Oh, man. It's Tuesday, Brian. We're a day late. That's on me, folks. When you forget to turn the upstairs air conditioner on and it's 90 degrees and high humidity, you don't want a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh
For sure. That's no bueno. That's why it was funny though, because I didn't even see your message until way late yesterday, because I woke up and I slept like garbage yesterday. So I was like, I'm going to lay down for a little bit. Totally forgot to set an alarm. Woke up at about 5 after 7 and was like, oh, shit.
Bitch.
I look and I see your message and I'm like, oh, good.
It was meant to be.
Yeah. I mean, I could have done it. You know, like I would have been like, hey, give me like 7:45 or something like that. It'd have been okay. But I was still like, oh, this works because now I can have a chance to eat and, not rush or whatever.
If we did it yesterday, I would be just glistening like Neo from Daft Pod, if y'all are familiar with Daft Pod. I know they haven't been around for a little bit now. But,
Yep.
Yeah, I would be full-blown waterfall down my face. Like, basically how I spend most of my day at work.
Yeah. No good.
Is it over yet?
For sure, no.
Come on, cicadas. Bring on fall. Like, normally I'm one to hang on to summer for as long as I can. This summer's sucked dick. It's been too hot.
We still got a month, so... Which is what I love. We're at that damn part of the year again, which always irritates me because you always have these people be like, oh, fall's almost here. It's like, no, it's not. It's still a fucking month away.
Shut up, Karen.
Like, seriously. I mean, yeah, Starbucks has already got their pumpkin spice latte shit rolled out, but,
I can't tell you how annoyed I was when I was frolicking through Myers and I first spied Oktoberfest beer. It's like... And then we round a coffee creamer corner. And not only did they have pumpkin spice creamers, Brian, they had their Christmas creamers out. No one wants peppermint patty or whatever. Crisp coffee creamer with Elf on the bottle.
I'll tell you this.
August.
If I were a coffee drinker and wanted a creamer, I would much rather have the mint one than pumpkin spice.
I didn't want either one of them. I was just like,
Yeah.
When I saw the Elf bottle, I kind of wanted to just like do one of those, man caught on film terrorizing store kind of things.
Right. Well, and it's actually a little surprising because the way that the shipping industry has been because of COVID and various issues, they've been way behind on stuff. You know, like there's action figures hitting stores that should have been out months ago.
What you're saying is that's last year's creamer.
Yeah.
I knew it. Those bastards.
Oh God, can you imagine if it
was though?
Right.
Like, is there tofu in this? I hear like a solid mass.
You know how they have those videos of people cutting like the pint of Ben and Jerry's in half? They just cut that out and then slice off what they want for their coffee. You know, they got like little cheese knife.
They get like a microplane and just grate fucking cured creamer under their coffee.
Cured, yeah.
Gross.
Ugh. Yeah, I was reading that they're saying that shipping costs are going up, which means, you know, product costs, of course, are going up.
Good thing everyone's making more money. Wait.
Yeah,
Shit.
Yeah, they were also mentioning how, you know, there very well could be like shortages for like toys and stuff through Christmas. So, you know, if you're a person who's listening, you know, maybe don't wait until December or November to buy some toys. Yeah. Well, you'll just hit Five Below and buy whatever they got left. So
you're not wrong.
Tony's hit the point to where that's all anyone gets from him now. It's all a Five Below gift.
How, you know what? Wouldn't it be great to do like a white elephant thing, but you have to go to Five Below?
It makes you wonder how many people would get the same thing. Right. You know, because there is a lot of stuff there.
There is a lot of stuff. But if I'm going for this sort of situation, I'm looking for the goofiest shit I can find.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. Yeah.
Ow, what the fuck? I just got stabbed in the foot by something. God.
You can't be mad at, like, you know, $5 t-shirts, though. I mean, they do have, you know, I mean, you can't be too mad at that. But
I'm just trying to think of what the most ridiculous $5, and it has to be Five Below, because I know they have their weird $10 section now. That's what are we?
Right out though.
Poor people. What are we, rich people?
I was like, wait, you're going the wrong way here.
God, I can't think of. I know I've seen some dopey shit in there. It's always in the toys and games though.
I've never really taken the time to peruse the full store,
because when I disservice, sir.
No, I know. When I'm in there, I'm usually in there with my brother, so we're usually looking at like what toys they have, and then we're right out.
You need to go up and down every aisle. I don't care if it's a lady aimed aisle, because there's always something you're like, what the fuck is that?
Oh yeah, that's the way most of those kind of stores are. That's somewhat that can be fun for like Big Lots or Ollie's or any of those.
Sometimes I feel like I'm gonna walk in and never be found again, but
yeah. I've bought a lot of stuff from there. I mean, I remember when I was a kid, we used to go to Big Lots a lot, because there were a lot of times they had, you know, stuff really cheap. So, you know, and same with Ollie's. Like I said, I've bought a bunch of shit there that's, you know, way cheaper. So
you can't hate. I mean, I used to kind of hate on Harbor Freight until I really started going.
I'll tell you, you know, if you're a person who doesn't have a local comic book store to buy your graphic novels from, they got a decent amount of graphic novels there.
I never really looked at the graphic novel section. I did kind of peruse the books.
There's some good ones in there too. I figured they'd all be junk, you know, just the shit that stores can't sell. But no, they got some really good like Batman runs and stuff like that in there.
That's shocking to me.
So, and they're like $5 or $6 instead of being like 15 or 20. That's why I said, please go buy from your local comic shop first.
Yeah. Then go to Ollie's.
You know. Yeah. But those stores of or Value City that used to be around, any of that kind of I can't remember what they're called, like liquidation stores or whatever they're called. You know, there's always been reasons to go to them.
One I saw a TikTok about in Ohio. It's called Crazy Bins, and there's two of them. I want to say they're around Cleveland area, maybe. And it's basically like twice a week they just stocked a store with just a bunch of shit
Oh,
and if
yeah.
it's it, and it's like
I've
this
heard of
bin's
these.
like a $3 bin, and you figure there's $3. Crazy
Yeah.
bins. I kind of want to do a little field trip
crazy.
and check that out.
I'm not gonna lie, I kind of would like to go to that too. I've heard of start. It's funny because I follow various people who, you know, sell on eBay and different stuff like that. And some of them, when they're like, "Yeah, the store near me does this," and I'm like, "There's nothing near us that does that." Like, why is it these other people get all these cool stores and we get,
because
you know,
we live in a
nothing?
simulation. We're supposed to want what everyone else has. Yes.
Oh yeah, good point.
Because that's the point of this game, Brian. Do you want to play a game?
You're right.
No, I don't actually. I haven't actually played a game.
I just
sorry, go ahead.
Real quick, like a week or so ago, did you ever see the Aqua Teen Hunger Force where they go to Canada?
I think so.
Like, they're running from the law because Meatwad enlists them all in the army. So, or the Marines, I don't remember what it was. Anyway, so Fry goes to Canada, you know, and when he does, he goes into this barn. And it's basically, there's like a Jigsaw character that's like, you know, he wakes up and he's like, I think he's like handcuffed to the chair or something like that. He's like, "Would you like to play a game or whatever?" And then as the guy's talking, he's like, you know, the key to whatever is in your head or something. You have to blah, blah, blah. And Fry's like, "Yeah, I'm loose." And just everything the guy tries to do, he's just like "No, I already," you know, and he's like, yeah, he's like, "I'm going to go." And the guy's like, "Oh, come on, please stay." He's like, you know, like, just cut your hand off or something like that. It's a good episode because and then I can't remember it as they make various, you know, Canada references because, you know, that's what you got to do.
Moosins.
Anyway, so what about Molson's?
No, I think I'm good without a Molson.
Yeah, I'm all right without Molson's. I mean, listen, I've drank my fair share.
Yeah,
of it.
Same.
Yeah.
Gross.
Anyway, so
yeah, I've started playing a game this past week, Brian. And it may completely well, you probably know because you look at the PlayStation dashboard.
I did. Yeah, and it did. You're correct. It's shocking.
I've been playing MLB the game.
The show, which I've said for years, and it's, you know, kind of proven itself, is the best baseball game that, like, it used to be a Sony exclusive. This year they put it on Xbox also.
Well, I just know it was the 2019 one was free, and.
That's the one I've been playing because it's free.
I don't know why. I feel like playing a baseball game. And I was like, oh, shit, I think that was free. And I, you know, made myself up a dude. I got drafted by the Springfield Cardinals. Just got done kicking the Tulsa Tappers' ass or whatever the fuck they're called.
Still in the minors, huh? I'm on my hardcore trajectory to the Hall of Fame as I've, you know, I think I'm just shy of 500 home runs now in like 6 seasons. I mashed the balls. What I'm saying.
It's been fun. Yeah. But I know eventually I'm just going to lose interest, and my guy will be like stagnant in his first like major league game for 2 years, sitting inside the PlayStation.
What I used to hate was, you know, they put that game out every year, you know. And they used to not have it to where you could like import your guy from the previous year. And it was like, I got to start all over, which, don't get me wrong, can be kind of, you know, cool, especially if they add different stuff that you go through in the minors or whatever. But also it's like, I kind of want to continue my guy I've already got 5 years invested in. So that's why I didn't used to buy it every year, was because I was like, well, I'm going to play 2 or 3 years on one copy because, you know, I'm going to play a career basically. And then by the time I wrap that career up, because I honestly don't play the regular game much. I just really enjoy playing the Road to the Show.
Yeah.
Yep. So,
although I see there's like a throwback version of how you can play, and I kind of want to check that out because the baseball looks all pixely and fun. Yeah, I played a couple games that way. It was kind of fun. It's like I said, it's fun for now until I get distracted by the next thing. Because I know that's how I am with video games.
Right. For the like baseball simulator games, it's been the best for a long time. I know there was. Yeah. Well, the cool part about it too is like one thing that's nice about sports games is if you don't care about like, oh, I gotta have whoever the new guys are in the game, basically, you can buy like the previous season usually for like $15, $10 or less, because GameStop will have 1 million copies of it, you know, and like they actually hit a point where they quit taking copies of sports games because they just decline in value.
Makes sense.
You know,
it's like a car.
You never have anyone in 2020. Right. Yeah. It's like there's very few sports games that hold value. Like NCAA football 14, like for the Xbox. I don't mean 360. I mean Xbox. Or maybe it is 360. I don't remember. I don't think it is though. Might be. Whatever. It goes for like $100. Right? Yeah. Because it's the last one. Exactly. So there's no other, one after.
That's another thing I was going to talk about at the end of the show. I'm working on a college football game, Brian. I'm going to need you to do some
EA's going to be
for me.
That's going to be a terrible game if I'm the model. All the offensive linemen are 5'9". You make yourself the quarterback. You're just slightly, you're a few inches taller, but it's just all the difference. Yeah. Slinging that ball. I remember one of the college football games, because you could create your own guy. I mean, my dude was like, I think he was like 6'10" or something like that. And, it was just funny in that game because I was just way taller than everybody else. But now's not so much the case. I mean, God, some of these offensive linemen are like 6'8", 6'9".
I don't know where we're growing these people, but
you do the true. Midwest. It's just all that corn
and incest.
All that corn and then modified soybeans and incest. Yeah, that's what grows them big.
Get those weird mutation genes rolling.
Yep. Yeah, I definitely have always recommended that game for baseball. If you like baseball, it's good times. That's why it's funny because Garrett didn't play it. Terrible, worst game ever. Garrett. Well, what's cool too is when you're doing the the road to the show, you can skip a lot of stuff in it if you don't like doing the mundane stuff. Like, oh, you hit a single. If you don't feel like doing the base running, you can skip to your next at bat. All that kind of stuff.
I was kind of thrown off because I'm like, time to play a game of baseball, and then it was like, ow, and then it's like, and then my guy's up. I'm like, oh, you only play when you actually interact. That's interesting.
Right. Yeah. There in the past, there's been, the game was not like that. Like you would have to kind of, yeah, and
it takes forever.
That's fine, but it's also takes forever.
That's why I kind of dig it because I mean, like today I was, heating up some food and shit, and while I was waiting for stuff to get warm, I played a fucking game of baseball. It's crazy. It's crazy, man.
Exactly. Yeah, that's part of why I like playing that mode is because I can skip stuff if I don't have time or don't feel like dealing with the mundane stuff. It's funny, my dude's got like crazy speed, because I've been playing long enough. My stats are up pretty good. Like I'm fast, but it's like I think I've stolen like 2 bases. The base stealing's a lot harder in that than I'm used to. The pitchers are a little more aggressive with their pickoff. In the past, you could jump. Like right as the pitcher would start their motion, you could literally just jump. And if you had good speed, you'd pretty much have a good shot at it. And in this one, I've noticed more that when, if you even take like one extra step away from the bag, it seems like they throw to first. It's way more aggressive than actual baseball is. But what are you going to do? There's some stuff in there I could complain about. Like the contract thing is weird. Because my rookie contract came up, and in my rookie season, I hit like 60 home runs, and they offer me like $1 million for the next season.
Guys, I'm terrifically undervalued.
Yeah, and I'm like, but you also, the way real baseball works is you really don't have much power from the negotiation standpoint until you're like 10 years in. Mm-hmm. That's when you can add the no trade clause. You can, you start getting leverage. Before that, the guys really don't have much leverage because if they make you an offer and you don't like it, you go to arbitration, and that's basically it. Like, you can't walk away. They own the rights to you, essentially. So it's kind of shitty, but also, if you're a really good player, you also can get a $300 million contract at some point. So you can't bitch too much,
I only bitch when they
just
send me the actual money.
Right.
Just saying.
I just hit the point where I got a healthy contract. So, and I think I'm 6 or 7 seasons in.
Right.
So, what position is your guy,
bro?
Play? I started at third, but the whole time they're like, we're going to try you out over at first. And then you can be like, no, I don't want to, or that's okay. And it was like, at first I'm like, no. And they're like, well, we're kind of crowded at third base in the, big leagues. So, and I'm like, okay.
Are you though?
All right. I guess I'll go play first. So now I'm a first baseman like all the time.
There you go.
So, yeah. I've gotten used to it now. I hate playing first, but I like third base better. But whatever.
Trevor.
Yeah. Just took me a while to get the timing of fielding the ball and then having to run over to first base because the pitcher doesn't always run to cover like they're supposed to. They have this proximity thing in the game, right? So where it's essentially if you're within a certain area, I don't know if you've noticed, like if you're within a certain area of the base, the pitcher stops running over there. And the pitcher should run over there no matter what, even if they run, in good baseball, you run outside because the pitcher's the backup in case of an overthrow.
Plus,
but
it's delivering a crushing clothesline to the base runner.
Yes. Yes. I don't think we're playing the same game, Tony.
Put the mods on?
No. Dude, that'd be crazy if there were mods like that. I mean, the batter would have to carry the bat with him to give
what was
themselves
that
a chance.
crazy baseball game we used to play on the Sega? Where you could fight people at the base and stuff.
Shit, what was that? I don't remember.
Robot teams, you could upgrade their weapons and armor and shit.
Yeah, it was robot baseball of some sort, but I don't remember what it was. It was probably just baseball.
This is what the Googles are for, right?
I was gonna say, given the time frame, it was probably just called Robo Baseball.
Right. Robot Baseball. Sega.
It wasn't. It was called.
Let's see here. According to my research, Super Baseball 2020. That can't be right.
No, that's certainly not. That can't be right. No. I don't think anyway.
I'm thinking it's not. That happened last year, guys.
Yeah, but if it was made when we were youths, that would have seemed so far in the future,
Yeah, I have no idea what it is. It's definitely not Super Baseball 2020. Oh, here you go. What's the best weird baseball game ever? What's SB Nation again? Sports Book
Nation, yeah.
This was it. Shit. They have a picture of it. It is Super Baseball 2020 versus Base Wars.
Base Wars sounds...
Yeah, it was Base Wars.
Okay. I was going to say, that sounds more right.
Yeah, because you have the pitcher shot the ball out of his arm. Yeah.
Right.
Hell yeah. How did Super Baseball 2020 take the cake here?
Nudity.
I should have known.
Yeah.
Wow. So, yeah. Base Wars. What a shit name.
Yeah. Surprised there was never a Mutant League Baseball.
I know, right?
Where you could do that, where you equip the ball with some sort of explosive or
anything.
Anything, yeah.
Oh yeah.
Exploding bases, it'd be all sorts of fun.
It was under the banner the Cyber Stadium series, Base Wars. So that leads me to believe that they were going to make other games along this genre, and I don't think
probably
they succeeded at all.
I think the baseball game was not good, and that's probably where it ended.
It was definitely it, though. Not on my Google Images, and I'm scrolling through some of the Google Images. Yeah. Well,
yeah.
But, man, we played some shit games, Brian.
Oh, we did.
God damn.
Yeah, we played pretty much everything that we could get our hands on, though. You know, and that continued even to like when I worked at Hollywood Video, since I was the game champion. You know, my job was to. Yeah, my job was literally to test games when they came in, even though we weren't supposed to rent them for the first month.
You don't tell me what
to do. But I was like, well, that's what I kept telling. Like I told my boss, I was like, how am I supposed to know the game if I can't take it home? And he's like, and then finally they changed it after like a month or so to where the game champion could rent a copy for one night. Then a month later, you could. Yeah. I mean, we got our stuff for free, so it was hard to argue, you know. But at the same time, it was, you know, well, you remember at Family Video, we weren't supposed to take, what was it, on the weekends or something? We weren't supposed to rent
the weekend, games. You weren't supposed to rent, like, I think the new release games or whatever.
New games. Yeah, new games. Yeah. Old games were fine.
So dumb.
Yeah. Whatever. Like everybody didn't pull the move of, oh, my dad's renting this.
Oh, my father, who doesn't know what it is. Yes, I have a PlayStation. He still calls it Nintendo. Yeah, it's for sure for him.
What Atari game did you want me to rent? Madden 20.
Yeah, did you hear him? He said Madden 20. He loves it.
Loves it. Can't get enough of it.
Can't get enough of that Madden 20. That was so dumb. Do you remember the days of renting video game systems?
You mean like renting them out or like renting them
as a
ourselves?
Customer? Like, I can't believe that shit existed. I mean, I know you and I worked in a video store and all that, but
yeah,
it was
weird though. Yeah,
I mean, I'm not mad at the idea because if I had a video store, I'd do the same shit. You know?
Yeah. Well, that was honestly how I played Sega Saturn the most, was at the one Hollywood I worked at. We had like two of them, so I would rent it every once in a while because I was really never like, I'm gonna buy this. I was always like, you know, like they were good games for it. I just never pulled the trigger on it. Yeah. So yeah, I remember renting. I think I rented. I used to rent Xboxes because I didn't have an Xbox, so I remember renting an Xbox off and on, but that was about it. You know, but yeah, it was amazing how people would come in to rent those. Like every weekend, we'd be out of, you know,
and it
whatever it was,
like
PlayStation
$50
2
or $100 deposit or something on it, and
depending on the system, the newer obviously more, and people were like, okay, it's wild because I can't imagine my parents ever doing that. My parents never. I mean, I can't imagine they would have ever had $150 to put down, or $50 or 100, whatever it was, and you know they didn't really have credit cards, so you know that would have never been an option for me as a kid.
A VCR because ours died. We did that before, and I want to say, I think
I remember we used to rent VCPs out at the different store. Well, both stores. I think Video have VCPs too, which are they don't record.
I just call them VCR because it's like calling a tissue a Kleenex.
Yeah. Well, and it was funny though because I remember at Hollywood, the one time I remember a guy bringing one up, and he had like 5 new releases, and he had like a bunch of blank cassettes also, and I was like, bro, that won't record, and he goes, what? And I was like, those only play. And next thing you know, he put everything back. He was just going to come in. And there were people I know that did it. They'd come rent whatever the new movies were, copy them, and then bring them right back. Course. Yeah. That's why the video stores generally only rented VCPs, was so that it wouldn't, they weren't encouraging theft, essentially.
I mean, theft, schmeft. Who's paying the price? Big Hollywood. Yeah. That's what I say.
Hey, you're still renting the movie out,
Who cares if this guy's going to, go sell 14 copies of Bad Boys out of his trunk?
Yeah.
Who cares?
Right. It's funny. My brother and I were in a Goodwill, and, we're walking through the, where they have DVDs and stuff. And there was a copy of Titanic on VHS, and, He's like, oh, Titanic. And I was like, there should be zero chance that a copy of Titanic on VHS is ever worth anything. I'm like, because I worked at the Hollywood Video I worked at, the night Titanic came out, we had 200 or 300 copies or 200 for rent. And we also had like 200 for sale. And we rented out almost all the copies that night and sold about half of them the first night.
Right.
So every Hollywood Video, and there was just under 1,000 Hollywood Videos, and that's just Hollywood, you know. And, you know, at each store, there was that many copies or more. Again, we were the least busy store in the chain, and we got that many. You know, so you can imagine what like the busiest stores in the chain got. They probably got twice as much. I mean,
according to this, best-selling VHS tapes of all time. Sorry.
Yeah.
Number 1 is Lion King, Snow White, and Titanic. Sold 25 million VHS copies. So that's 50 million individual tapes.
Right. And that's probably not counting what were for rent that later went to sale. You know, because that one was available for sell through right away. So it wasn't like, you know, like a lot of them where we had to send copies back. You know, as soon as we were done with it, it was marked down to move them, you know, to like $5.95 to get them the hell out of the store. Yeah, I was so happy when they were gone because I was doing the new release wall, merching the wall at the time, you know, and that takes up a lot of fucking space because you couldn't really double them up because it was a 2-tape set, you know. Normally with a new release, you know, as it is no longer as new, you know, you start putting 3 or 4 behind the ad box. You couldn't do that with that because the box itself was huge, and then 2 tapes that took up the whole shelf. Bro.
They didn't think about the little man.
I know. Poor guy having to merch this damn thing every week. At least it was Titanic, so it was kind of near the end of the wall, you know, so you didn't have to move the whole thing around. Like it went you know how it was. You've done it, I think, you know, like, when a movie comes out and it's like a H title or an M title or something, and you're like, oh man, I gotta move like all this wall to make the space.
Oh man, good dude. So, I've been guzzling so much sparkling water.
That's the problem. You know, the sparkle in it dehydrates you, right? It drains your power.
I came up with a new creation today, by the way. All right.
Okay.
Picture it. We're gonna go to the weekend.
Mm-hmm. The singer?
Come on in.
Okay. Yeah. He does blinding lights and then leaves.
That was cool.
All right.
No, so Leah came over and easy dish tacos. Because I can make a pan of beef, I can make a thing of beans. She can do whatever, right? Well, we made crunch wraps. And they were delicious, by the way. Yeah, but I mean, I bought too much stuff.
Yeah, it is amazing. Once I looked up a recipe for those, I was like, holy shit, those are way easier to make than I ever. You know, you just have to buy the big tortilla shells.
You need bigger tortillas.
Or I saw, did you double them up?
Yeah.
Is that how you did it to give you more space? Because I've seen people do that too, but they make like massive ones that you can buy basically. Those are the best for it, I think.
But so we made crunch wraps. They were good. I'll do it again. But I made so much taco stuff. You know?
Yeah.
And like, cause like Leah barely ate, and then it was like the next day we had tacos for dinner, leftovers, and it just like the shelf felt like trash. So I'm like, I have all this taco stuff I got to eat. You know, because it was a lot. So I took like a thing of taco stuff in my lunch, heated up, made tacos at work. You know, come home. Michelle's like, I'm not real hungry, and I got to go do a house inspection. So it's just kind of, I'm like, so I had tacos again. But here's like where my creation came in, okay? So I went to go make tacos, and I had one tortilla, and then I had frozen tortillas. So I was like, fuck.
Okay.
Because I pulled the frozen tortillas out right when I got home from work because we were going to make buffalo chicken wraps, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, but they're still frozen.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, let me make my one taco, and I guess I'll make some nachos or something because I know one taco's not going to do it. I'm a growing boy.
Right.
Flintstone vitamins all day. So I made my taco, ate it, and I was like, I don't really want nachos. I was trying to figure out what the hell I was going to do. I didn't want to just eat meat and beans with a spoon like an animal. Although I might do that tomorrow.
Right. Yeah.
But so I had this idea. I made a taco grilled cheese. And it was fucking
nice.
Good. Yeah.
On bread?
I did the classic, throw it down in a hot pan, griddle it up, and I put the cheese on it. I put a dollop of shit cheese queso, and I did the taco meat and beans, and then smashed it into a Sammy. Oh boy, dude, it was good.
Yeah, I don't see where
why
it wouldn't
it's
be.
Something I've never done before. I was like, I felt like I just discovered something new and exciting for the world. And I didn't take any pictures or anything because I was so hungry still.
I give to you. I don't know. Whatever.
I don't even know what a grilled.
Tacos.
I don't even know what it would be called. Because a taco grilled cheese is boring. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. You need something more exciting than that. A little zip, a little pep.
Grilled Adisa?
No. I don't think that works.
I don't know. It was good, and I plan on doing it again. If I had access to a hot griddle at work, I mean, I guess we do. I could just run a piece of glass through the furnace and just cook bread on it.
That would be funny.
Like, don't pull that glass off that unload table. Let me throw some butter and some bread on there.
That'd be so great if you could do that and video it as a life hack. Because, everyone's got access to big sheets of glass.
You run the glass through, and then you wait like 5 minutes for it to temper and get really hot. And when that shit comes out, we making grilled cheese.
That'd be so great. I would definitely enjoy that.
That would be fun. Yeah, the taco grilled cheese, man. Oof.
You just got to start just take a griddle with you or a waffle iron or something.
That would be that's true.
Yeah.
I mean, I could get one of those like campfire cast iron sandwich makers and just put it on top
there you
of
go.
one of our furnaces. Those things get real hot, and, I mean, I know some of the guys like they pop holes in tops of SpaghettiO can and cook their SpaghettiOs and shit on it. So
God.
I mean, Brian, I work with animals.
At least they poke holes.
I heard tell of guys who did it too, and basically made a SpaghettiO bomb.
God, of course, it's like those assholes that cook beans on their grill, and they don't poke the holes in them, and they, like you said, it creates a bomb.
Y'all like pressurized hot food because you're about to get it.
Who doesn't love a little shrapnel with their beans, Forget bacon. Metal's where it's at.
Little shraps and beans.
Yeah.
Kids love it.
Yeah, I guess. No, probably not. So, I was disappointed the other day. I got the old groceries from Kroger, and they when I was ordering them, I saw they had a special on, I forgot what kind of steaks they were. They're like smaller sirloin steaks, basically.
Like porterhouse of lizard. Okay, perfect.
Yeah. But anyway, so, I order a pack of those and, get the groceries, and I was like, oh man, they didn't send me the thing that said there were substitutions, and they went ahead and subbed it for like, oh no, not that bad, but like real thin kind of, I forget, like patio steaks almost.
Jesus.
Right? Like they're real thin. They're not that bad. They're
really
a little
watch
thicker
the cooking
cut
on those though.
Yeah, that's
like
the
leather?
problem. I made them. I made them the other night and was cooking them, and did the old mushroom and onion and green pepper and the saute it down a little bit.
You made it sexy.
And then in the cast, it gets sexier because I put the steaks on, and then when I think the steaks are getting near done, I dump all the veggies into the cast iron so they get some of that goodness that's in the pan.
Orgy of flavor.
Right? Oh, exactly. And and in doing so, I probably overcooked them a little bit. Not the veggies; those I don't care about. If those get a little overcooked, unless they're like charred,
it's just like a freaking whatever decoration or whatever. Yeah. Why can't I think of garnish?
Yeah.
Why could I get that word?
Garnish. I don't know, but I couldn't pull it either. I'm just like, I don't know what he's trying to go for.
That was like the kale, the Pizza Hut.
Yeah. Dude, there's just so... It's so disappointing when we had like green beans with bacon on, cooking down. We had baked potato, had them veggies in the steak. And I'm like, this is about to be we're about to throw down meal tonight. And then I get the steak and I cut into it and I'm like, fuck, it's overcooked. I'm like, I just threw everything in the trash. No.
Kitchen now.
Yeah. It makes me so mad when I do it because I wasn't thinking, and you'd think I've cooked steaks enough and just whatever. But again, it's like the cast iron got probably too hot and it cooked those steaks so fast. And I got to remember, if I'm going to cook those steaks, I got to cook them. If I'm using cast iron, I got to go low. I can't get the pan super hot. Like
babysitting. Like basically let them
that's
kiss
actually
the pan and that's it.
Pretty much like, put the butter in there so I can get a little crust on the outside of it, and then flip it and then naturally you gotta look like I'm a pro or something. So disappointing though when you make a steak though and you overcook it. You're just like, right? Man,
that is I mean, that is one of the worst feelings up there.
Yeah, it's like I'm gonna eat it, but I will say this. Good. I was very happy at that point to have those veggies and stuff with it because you can get a little fork full of those with the bite of steak and it helps it not dry because I ain't trying to steaks. Yeah, and there's still some goodness in the pan, so spoon a little of that for the steak and stuff. Yeah, it was weird though because when I cut into it, there was still a good amount of like juice in it, but it just was kind of dry. So
you should find out who picked the order. And then just challenge them to a duel at sunrise.
Yeah. Well, it sucked because, like I said, I didn't get that notice that says, hey, we're out of this. Because I would have been like, no, I don't want those steaks because they're not great,
Like, we're out of these really nice sirloins are ordered. So instead, we substitute 2 packages of chip-dried beef.
couple Carl Budding packs in there. Yeah.
Oh. Thanks, Kroger. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. I should have known though, because when we went and got groceries, it was late in the week, which means anything on sale meat-wise generally is gone. And I should have thought. I just wasn't thinking. Just fumble from top to bottom. Yeah. I mean, because I've taken shitty cuts of meat and still had really good results from them. It's just, and what you do. I just fucked up, man. I just fucked up.
Even us aren't perfect all the time.
I know.
I know. Right. Your podcast hosts are also flawed people.
I'll get them next time because there was like 9 of them in the pack.
Shit.
Well,
you should have just stuck two of them together with toothpicks.
Seriously. I mean, they're like, fist size, a little bigger than fist size. They're not very big at all. So, the other ones, like I said, the other ones are about, a good inch and a quarter thick. So they cook pretty quick, but there's still enough fat and stuff on them that they're still delicious.
I want steak. Damn.
These ones I think are more of I think these would have been better, honestly, if I had put them in the Instant Pot and made something else with
steak.
It. Yeah. I think because it had a good amount of connective tissue that I think it needed more time to break down. I think that was part of it too. It just, I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'll do pepper steak next time. That's actually
do some beef and broccoli.
Really good idea. Damn it, Tony. It's actually a really good idea, though.
Oh,
be something different.
My heel is jacked.
All right, I got to ask you a question. What is behind you in front of the guitar? Is that a balloon?
It's what I've been using to keep the cats off my chair.
Is that a T-Rex?
It's from 2 years ago still. This dinosaur head still has
the head has
gas in it. Yeah.
Wow.
So I've been putting the corpse is deflated. Yeah.
Oh, it's gone. Yeah, for sure.
I've been putting the corpse and the dinosaur head on the chair to keep the damn cats off the chair. Because if not, it looks like I have a luxurious 70s like bachelor pad chair. Meanwhile, it's just a cat exploded on it. So yeah, it's I thought that was out of frame, but apparently not. Yeah.
No. I just was kind of curious what it was because I don't remember seeing it. Like what it looked like almost is like, you know, when you buy like a bed covering or something and they come in like those plastic zip up bags.
Yeah.
Like a comforter or something. That's what it looked like at first. And I was like,
it's kind of like
kind
that,
of blanket
but it's full
is
of prehistoric hate.
Yeah, okay.
Similar
to us.
Very, very true.
Yeah.
It's very accurate.
Huh. Who knew? Oh man.
I mean, I guess we were talking about baseball earlier. Went to a Mud Hens game over the weekend.
Nice. Well, wait. It's been really hot.
Here's the thing. So, Michelle's real estate company was doing a thing, and they had it in the Holy Toledo room. So I was like,
oh, okay.
Like, well, okay. All right. So Leah was here. We all piled in the car. We moseyed on downtown. And it was weird because we were there, but it didn't feel like we were there. Because, like, the Holy Toledo room is like a banquet room.
Oh, so it's not like a suite.
There's windows that overlook the field, and you can, like, walk down some stairs, and there's seats you can go to. But it's like the suite, you're, like, the TV's on, they got the audio going. Like, there's a TV on the wall, but there was no audio. The other end of the banquet hall was Notre Dame Academy class of probably 1906. There were some ancient women over there. Yeah, it was pretty great.
Yeah.
Like, man, look at all these lookers.
Nice. So you went there and work the room, right?
I'm like, who wants to get the third base? Hey.
Yeah, but you have to consider the third base. The third base for them is like, kissing on the cheek.
Like showing Al's a little ankle.
You got to hit for the cycle to get anywhere near the real good
cycle in years.
Oh, God. No, you don't want that cycle. No.
You remember the Dust Bowl?
Yeah, it was a shitty replacement for. Oh, damn it! He lost it.
It's all right.
Strip.
But so we went to this banquet room, and like on the back of the room, there's two ways to enter. There's this outdoor like patio. It had all these big comfy chairs. There's a bar. I'm like, oh, that's not bad.
Mm-hmm.
So got our food. I like chugged an Aquafina, although I hate Aquafina, but that's what they had. They had Pepsi products. And I'm like, I'm gonna.
I stand by that. Aquafina is just hose water.
The hose water ran through like an old driveway salt bag.
Ooh, nice. That's a good taste right there.
I go outside to this bar and I'm like, hey, can I help you? I'm just trying to figure out what beer I want. I'm like, oh, cool. Do you have a wristband? I'm like, yeah, I got a wristband right here. And they're like, oh, that one's no good here. This is a different party. If you want beer, you got to go downstairs to section 115 or something. I'm like, I'm not going down. I'm not, no. Yeah.
That's so dumb.
Yeah. How is there not an accessible bar up here in this banquet area? Like, I'm here to pay. I will.
Yeah.
Shut up and take my money.
I'm here for a beer.
Right? That doesn't make sense. Like, it'd be different if it was all inclusive. Then I'd understand it, like, oh, sorry, these beers are for non-savages.
I think that's what,
you know,
like that back patio was a different section these people rented. And that was their bar for
I
their
see.
thing, which I get.
Okay.
But I was more like,
that
how is
makes
there just not a bar up here, though, that for everybody, that if you want something, you just go get and buy it and be gone.
Yeah, or the option to have someone bring it to you or something. Like, you see where we are. We're in the banquet room. There should be banquets in there. Damn it.
Although
Coors needs to sponsor every banquet room they can get their hands
Coors,
on. And just
I would.
You can only serve our beer.
This is a banquet room, after all.
Yep. If you want the champagne room, you go to the champagne room. Right.
I mean, we didn't stay the whole game, because, we were all tired and feeling rough, and, and like I said, it wasn't like I was even at a game. It was just like hanging out with people like Michelle's parents and people she works with, basically. Yeah. Although it was nice because downtown they have those, I think I talked about them last week, maybe. I don't know. They got electric scooters everywhere down there that you rent with an app.
Yeah.
And, we parked pretty far away, and we, like, took a couple of them. Like, I Leah put it on her phone. I gave her money so she could have, a wallet. And so the three of us rented scooters, and we went down to the river, which is cool. But it's like, the scooters it's not bad. It's $1 to unlock the scooter, and it's like 20-some cents every minute thereafter.
Okay.
And they're fast as fuck, dude.
How do they know when you're done with
them? You get off
them?
it, and you open up the app, and you say, I'm done. And then it locks it.
And then
it. You have to take a picture where you parked it because they don't want you leaving in the middle of the street or something. But
whatever. Like you couldn't just set it off to the side, take a picture, and then throw it in the river. No, that podcast I listened to, Get Rich Nick. One of the things they did was collecting birds.
Oh yeah,
those scooters out in California or whatever. And there were some of them that it's funny because they're like, I'm right where it says it is, but it's nowhere to be found, which means either someone took it inside or it's like in the river.
Well, I'm convinced because if you look at the app, I forget what it's called, like a Vio or Vio, whatever. The area of, let's call it influence that they have is giant. It goes from like the east side, all of downtown, somewhat up Broadway towards the zoo, all the way to UT. It's huge.
Wow, that's okay.
So,
will the scooters only work in that area,
GPS.
or
okay?
Because I was gonna say, could you just take one home if you wanted
I'm convinced
to? Not that you'd want to pay for it,
because there was there's like bicycles that you just pedal. There's these electric scooters, and then there's sit-down scooters, which are kind of almost like little mopeds. And doing the scooter was rough on Michelle because her arthritis in her wrists. She's got to stabilize the whole time. So it didn't really work out too well for her. But she's like, oh, if I get one of these sit-down scooters, and you can look on the map and it shows you where they all are at. Is all the ones that aren't being used. And all the sit-down scooters were like way out in the hood. And I'm like, I guarantee people are just using these as their transportation because it's cheap.
It's very well could be because they don't have to wait on a bus. They can't afford Uber or something like that.
I mean, more power to them. We saw some dude come rolling out of a neighborhood when we were driving like out of downtown. So it's like I get it, and I know there's people that guarantee that go and collect them too. Yeah.
Oh, there is. Yeah. Yep. That's a whole thing. There's also, at least with Bird, that's what those guys on Get Rich Nick did. They went out collecting, and then you can also charge them because they need recharging. So they pay you to recharge them as well. Like, so you can, but you don't have to do both. You can just go pick them up and put them somewhere else, or you can, whatever. So there's different options, but from they didn't keep doing it because it was really competitive. Because there's people, it's more of a
my turf kind
first
of thing,
come
right?
first serve. Yeah, and also like say you and I were like you don't claim it. to where so it tells everyone else back off. It's literally first come, first serve. So there were a couple of times where they got there and then it wasn't there anymore. Someone had already grabbed it, So they learned real quick that you don't go after ones that are, and I think you get paid more like the further away the thing is, but they also learned to kind of just collect ones closer to them because you have a better chance at there actually being one there, because otherwise it could be literally a wild goose chase. Yeah. There were, like I told you, there were some that they went to the spot and they're like, it is not here. There's nothing around.
But
so
like our first ride cost us like $1.30 or something like that. It wasn't that bad. But
yeah,
the next ride,
that is a really good idea though for parking down there, because like said,
Michelle's parents paid like $20 to park right across the street from the stadium. We parked further away and then we just scootered to it. And then like on the when we were gonna leave, Leah and I went out, hopped on scooters because they're everywhere by the stadium because everyone took them in, and we got to the car and they have these things called lucky zones on the map. It's basically high traffic areas. If you park your scooter in a lucky zone, you get a discount.
Oh, because they are paying someone else to go get it.
So we parked them in the lucky zones because it was right by the car. The trip cost us $0.05. It's like, why wouldn't you use these?
Right.
Yeah, 5 cents for each of us.
Well, and the other thing too is like, seriously, it's like you can look like, okay, here's where we're going. There's a lucky zone on the way. We'll have to walk just a bit, but it's totally worth it. We'll drop them off and then walk the rest of the way.
The first time I used them was in Detroit. And I thought we were going to die. But I mean,
well, it's because you didn't take your sidearm with you.
Yeah, I just had a lance. I was trying to joust people.
Yeah, those don't work real well against guns.
But yeah, the ones in downtown Toledo were great. I mean, there was a ton of people using them too. Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah, not mad at them at all.
Yeah. I'm not either, unless it becomes like, an issue for, people just winging them into cars and shit.
Sure people are going to get hurt on them.
Oh, for sure.
Those things, they move.
There was a show I was watching about a week ago, I think it was, and they weren't talking about those scooters. They were talking about how, like, when you go travel abroad, like almost every other country uses like Vespas or those little kind of things. And it's like, they don't train you at all on these things. They're just like, yeah, here you go, and good luck. And there's a lot of people getting hurt pretty badly on these things because they're taking them into actual traffic and they don't know how to pilot them accordingly, And I was like, yeah, it is actually kind of amazing that it's different if it was like a small area, like when we were in Put-in Bay, right? Like that area we stayed at. If we had been allowed to have those little scooters in there, it would make a little sense. It's like, hey, we're just
from all the drinking we did. Just take a scooter, like get 14 miles an hour right into the side of a cabin.
Yeah. But these people are taking it into like city traffic and stuff too.
I mean, we were also popping wheelies of golf carts. I'm just saying.
Well, I know. Yeah, I understand. Yeah, we shouldn't have been allowed to have those. Not at all. Not at all. But I think that would be my only God, I've seen various videos on ridiculousness of people with the ones like you guys were on, just taking headers off of them. And, and not because they're bad at them necessarily even, but you just hit something, a little uneven concrete somewhere and you go flying and you're not wearing a helmet. Well, you're not prepared
like the little check marks it gives you. It's like, make sure you wear a helmet. You have to check all this stuff to use it. And you're like, well, I want to use it. I don't have a helmet, but I'm using this,
Yeah, it's like, who's carrying a helmet? I'm just going to bring my own helmet.
I mean, we should probably both have helmets on standard issue anyway.
Yeah, that's probably accurate, but you make sure yours has the full face guard to protect the chiclet,
The precious fake half tooth.
Yeah. But that always made me laugh because I'm like, you'd think you'd have to, if they're going to put the helmet thing on there, you'd think they'd make it more like you have to like take a picture of you with the helmet on for to verify.
Once you check mark that, they're like, we're absolved. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I said, it's like, who's carrying a helmet around for that?
I think the 4 rules are, it's like, you're not supposed to ride them on sidewalks. But, I mean, they're putting in bicycle lanes downtown now, so you can take them on those.
Yeah. Are you going to be allowed to use a bike? Okay. So they're technically not bikes, but yeah. And given their speeds,
definitely take some people out. But it's like, no sidewalks, you need to wear a helmet, no drinking and riding. And I think it's like, don't leave them in the road, basically. I think that's what they are.
Right. Really, no wheelies out there.
Huh? My good buddy Mike, I know, sent me a picture of him with road rash because he was in Detroit and, ate shit on one of them.
Yeah. I'm sure there's a lot of people that do, because, not to mention, it's like, there's a lot of people that just aren't good with balance. That just, their coordination's just not okay for those things. So, not to mention, I mean, alcohol is going to be the number one.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if you see somebody with a Dora cup flying up the street.
Oh, for sure, right? Yeah. Just I'm just picturing, just somebody who's wobbly. Like, I'm fine,
okay.
Those things should have like a breathalyzer
that would make sense
on
too,
them,
actually.
Or on your phone or something like that. You get a little attachment. Like, sorry, we can't let you drive this because you're off your ass.
Fucking plastered, bro.
Might we suggest Uber?
Oh man, yeah, it was fun though. Yeah, good old scooter time.
Yeah. You got to get jackets made for when you're out on them. Yeah.
Hell yeah, the scooter boys with a Z.
Except you're the only boy.
It'll be BOIZ. Scooter boys.
How about the scooter thems? Yeah, that way it's encompassing for all.
I mean, it just was like Pride Day down there. So
yeah, it was. You're right. Yeah, I saw they had a thing about that on
Leah
the
had
television.
A watercolor class down there on handmade Toledo. So while she was doing that, I basically just went to the attic and drank. As you do.
As you do, yeah.
Like I walked around with Michelle for a little bit, and then I ran her home and went back. And I'm like, well, the attic's open. I'm going to have a couple beers and just fuck around on my phone. And then, we got out. I'm like, hey, you want to go check out the Pride thing? It's like, yeah, okay. I had a Pride whistle that they gave me at the attic. They're like, do you want a Pride whistle?
Okay.
I'm like, sure. Just like, don't blow it in here. I'm like, I won't. Don't worry about it. I just threw it in my pocket. I knew Leo would want it.
I just like the idea of, here's a whistle, don't blow
right?
it.
And I was like, oh, okay.
Shouldn't you be handing these out on the way out?
But it's like, have
someone at the door that's like, oh, you're leaving?
Yeah, right.
Here's a whistle.
It's like we walked down to it, and it was all fenced off, and, there's a guy on stage playing, and then, we'd see a big handwritten sign, $10 a person, 18 or over. I'm like, well, Leah, we're not watching this dude jam out. I don't know what to tell you. We're going back to the car and heading home. Because, I'm sure as the night goes on, things probably get fucking nutty. Because people like to party.
That's probably true. It's probably a good time, though. I've never been, but it's probably a good time. Yeah.
There was we did a pre-watercolor class lunch at Carlos Pocoloco. And there was some, fine young ladies sitting out on the patio with their boobs completely covered in glitter and tank tops and all this good stuff. It's like, this looks like a fun event. I like glittery boobs.
Yeah. So you joined them. You glittered yourself up.
I'm a furry bastard. Yeah.
Right.
It's like when you spilled chalky milk on a shag rug. It just stays there forever.
Right. God. The smell. Yeah.
Yeah, it would have been fun, but, I didn't realize it wasn't an all-ages situation. But in hindsight, fair enough. It makes sense.
It makes sense, I guess, yeah. I didn't know that, though, either. I mean, actually, maybe at night I could see or something, but it's like...
I think her class ended at 4 or something, so it was going on 5.
I was going to say, there's got to be some like all ages part of that. Like maybe through the day and then at night it gets, because things get a little crazy. Maybe they go to 18 plus or something, or because booze is going to be involved or whatever.
Stuff there. Although, I wanted to tell you this. That heavy brewing that I went to that had the Toledo Italian sandwich. Not as good as Ale's hot beef, but it's fine. There's a giant warehouse down there. There's banners all over it, and they're going to have carnival games, indoor yard games. They're going to have a rooftop beer garden. Yeah, I mean, it looks like it's a ways away because this place looks like it's still out of RoboCop, kind of, you know. But the banners made me excited seeing everything that was on there.
Yeah, actually, I think Channel 11 had something on their app about that, you know, because it's the title was, you know, like local brewery, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, oh, which one? You know, because that's one of those clickbait things that'll always get me, because I'm always like, oh, which brewery, you know? And I was like, oh, it's heavy. I'm like, I have not been there. But I remembered it was the, you know, they have hot beef, but not as good as Al's hot beef.
Like I'm on their website right now looking for if there's any information. There is not. Huh. Register your group? What? Sorry, I just got confused. I might register our group of heavy beer, Brian. Our group being our podcast. So it says get access to discounts on better beer pitchers, Toledo hot beef sandwich, and heavy tasting flights. Should we register?
I'm not against any of that. I would say so, because I'm not against any of that.
Do it right now. Register your group. Contact name.
Who doesn't want hot beef sandwiches, you know? Or whatever.
Boom. Contact email. Oh, I don't want to give all my email. Oh, well. If you watch the YouTubes, there's my email, everyone. Group name. Salty Language Podcast. I'm down for this.
Like, give us stuff. We'll talk about your
caps
beer.
Still isn't working. Motherfucker.
Oh, you silly goose. That's what you get for buying keyboards on Wish.
True. Salty.
You're lucky it's even in English or has keys.
I mean, you're right. Number of attendees, less than 10. See here. Which social media should I give them? How about our Twitter?
Twitter.
Was that Salty Language Pod? Or is that just Salty Language?
Salty underscore language is Twitter. Or no, Twitter. Twitter.
Type.
Apparently I can't.
I can't underscore. My fucking caps and shift and stuff don't work. Shit.
You're bumming, dude. Maybe do this later on your phone.
All right. I'm going to have to come back to this. That's annoying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's fine. Yeah.
Like, it would be great if we just get an email back and be like, what are you doing?
I'll allow it.
What do you mean, what am I doing?
Yep. You know how you were talking, or we talked, various baseball stuff here. And I had a story that kind of fits in with that, which was, I know, like, did you see that Major League Baseball's ending its partnership with Topps, the trading card company?
I did not.
Yeah, apparently Fanatics, the website that sells a lot of like, jerseys, hats, all that kind of gear. I guess they've got like a trading card company or something that's starting. And it looks like it's not just baseball. It looks like I forgot if it's football or basketball. Definitely, I can't remember if football's involved in it or not. But basically, what's going to happen is Fanatics will be the only company that can put team logos on cards.
The only one? Wow.
Yeah, so I think Topps can make cards if they reach a deal with the players union. They could still make cards with the players on them, but they won't be able to show any of the logos. Now, there's over the last few years, as sports cars have gotten blazing hot again, there's a few of the companies that have had those same deals. where the cards don't have logos on them, which I don't understand, because it's like, why the hell do you want? I don't know. It just feels like, you remember how like you used to get baseball cards in like cereal, and they'd all
I forgot about like, that shit.
You know, they would, for the longest time, they would just airbrush out the logos of the teams and stuff because they didn't want to pay the teams, you know. But it was like, I don't know, those were always looked at as like less than, you know.
That was like
now
G.
it seems
Joe
people don't
the
care.
core.
Yeah. But they've been with Topps for 70 years.
So long.
As the official card of baseball. And Topps apparently, you know, thinking they were going to get this deal done with baseball again, they were planning on going public with the company. And because of this, now they're not going to do that. So this is going to be a major, like, kind of a two-way combo to Topps, because not only are they not going to have the official logos for baseball cards in the future, they're not going to be able to go public either.
Doing? Putting that little pink piece of concrete in there. Does baseball cards come with gum now? When did that stop?
It stopped a long time ago because it was ruining the cards.
It's about it's about that pink gum.
Yeah, I think it was like, I remember back when it was like Sergei Fedorov's rookie year, there was like where the cards, because like each pack pretty much had like one Russian player in them, where he no, where the card was where the gum was. So there's a lot of his rookie cards that had like that gum imprint on the back of them. Right. So if you got one that didn't have that, it was worth more because it was pristine, you know. But anyway, yeah, that's the main reason they obviously quit doing that. I think I read somewhere else that here we go. The new deal with Fanatics could be hugely lucrative for players in MLB. It's more than 10 times larger than any other deal MLB or players have agreed to, according to ESPN. MLB and the Players Association, as well as the NFL and NBA players unions, will have a stake in the new company. So now the players, not only will they get a cut of the licensing fee, you know, that Fanatics will be paying baseball, but if these cards do really well, they'll get back end money as well. Yeah, so it makes tons of sense for them and baseball and the sports involved, because Topps was not giving them that same deal. But it's just kind of sad because, you know, Topps has always been the company.
Always been Topps.
You know, like you know, so it's kind of an odd ending of an era type of thing. Yeah. Really surprising too. I've read a couple of things from some you know, experts or whatever, and they said that like literally Topps thought this was in the bag. That Fanatics kind of came out of nowhere with this, because as of right now, Fanatics does not make trading cards. It's not like Panini's the other, you know, real big one right now. And like if it had been Panini, it would have made sense because they've been.
Doesn't Panini make
like
sandwiches?
They should. No. No, actually, it's funny because our generation would know Panini more from making stickers, because that's literally all they made when we were kids. They made sports card stickers and all that kind of stuff. And at some point, they started buying up some of these companies like Donruss and Score and whatever that were struggling. And now they put out all these different brands of sports cards. But a lot of their cards don't have the logos on them. And like I said, for me, I'd be like, I don't want this. That's like the ones that put out the college, you know, the players in their college uniforms. It's like, that's great. But once they're in the pros, I don't care about this anymore. You know, you want the pro uniform.
So weird.
I don't know. But yeah, pretty big story in that industry. Yeah. So, yeah. Man, speaking of, have you seen how the internet's been aflame over OnlyFans changes coming up?
Where are they going to get their pornography from, Brian?
Shit. But have you seen the pivot on this?
I just heard about this, I think, yesterday, the day before. I'm not in the loop, Brian.
So for anyone who doesn't know, OnlyFans was founded basically so that, like, I don't know, pick a, like, your favorite singer or something could start a page and their fans would subscribe for exclusive content, similar to Patreon. Yeah. That's essentially what it was for. It quickly became known for being where all the sex workers online went to. And there's, and that's what it's known mostly for. And now on October 1st, they're going to ban anything sexually explicit, which, from the stuff I've read, basically, from the updated terms that I read recently, it sounds like basically all that's going to be allowed is there can be nudity, but nothing explicit, nothing that simulates or is any sort of actual sex or penetration. You can't simulate, like, you can't pretend you're doing anything. You can't have zoomed in pictures of any sort of genitals or holes. Like, so basically it's like you can have nudity and that's basically where it stops. Whereas right now, anything goes pretty much. That just
means someone is going to suck up the adult content vacuum. Yeah.
For sure. There's going to be the next site, right? Because, and the way you know this is, even though it wasn't pay sites, Tumblr used to have tons of stuff. Sex workers use Tumblr as a way to promote their stuff a lot. And Tumblr banned nudity basically of any kind, allegedly. And when they did, everyone forgot Tumblr existed.
What are we talking about? We're talking about a gymnast, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, of course. No, something you keep your drinking.
Right.
So the way this looks is, it's mostly because originally there was thought that they were doing that because they wanted to get more investors, and that investors, there's a lot of investment firms and stuff that are not allowed to put money into anything that's pornography related. And I was like, okay, but you're making, like, they literally process billions in payments all the time. And they take 20% of that. That's a lot of fucking money. You don't need investors at this point. Like,
I mean, it's October 1st is going to roll around, and people are going to be in 4 months. You remember when OnlyFans was a thing?
Right.
Oh, yeah. And everyone's going over to, Pay and Jerk or whatever.
Hey, register that real quick, would you? So it looks now that it's more because Visa and MasterCard, I guess, or MasterCard. I don't think it's Visa. I think it's MasterCard. They're changing their terms to where it's like companies can, I don't know. It's making it very, very difficult for places to process money if it comes from any sort of pornographic site. PayPal did the same thing. I don't know if you remember. This is a few years ago. PayPal basically did that too, to where, like, any of these women who would be like, hey, send me $10 and I'll send you my exclusive Snapchat or whatever it was at the time. Like, PayPal, if they found out you were the money was for porn of any kind, they would lock the account and they would not give the money to the person.
That's rude.
And the way that it sounds like OnlyFans is kind of angling themselves to be able to do the same thing, because they're going to have trouble with MasterCard. Now, the easiest solution to me on this would be, if this is one of those few times where I go, man, Bitcoin could really save the day here, or not Bitcoin necessarily, but Dogecoin for sure, to the moon. Cryptos, thank you. That's what I couldn't think of. Because if they could come in and do this, be the accepted payment, it would just solve all the problems.
Except for all the old people that want to see their young neighbor nude.
I mean, and who doesn't?
No idea how to use a crypto. They could barely use their laptop.
Right. Yeah. That's what Viagra's for.
Huh?
So yeah, it's so clearly there's going to be some other site or sites that everyone's going to move to, because now there's probably going to be a handful of these people that'll stay on OnlyFans because maybe they don't really publish more than just like near nudes or implied nudes. No, that's fine, you know. But the real problem with this is that this is another way that industries are shitting on sex workers. Sure. And it's bullshit. You know, like what they do is clearly something people want. You know, and it's not illegal. Like nothing they're doing is illegal. It's, you know, now from what I've read, the way a lot of the people who are really pushing for these changes are these like ultra Christian groups. Yeah, right.
As I like to call them, and they're fun groups.
And they always lump in sex or human trafficking with this. So because who can argue against human trafficking, right? So, and the thing is, like, OnlyFans is not like, I haven't heard anyone say, hey, this account's doing underage stuff on OnlyFans. I'm sure there's been some instances, but I've not heard or seen anything. Whereas like Pornhub, remember when Pornhub purged a whole lot of things? That was part of it, was because MasterCard and different companies were going to make things harder for them. So they changed their stuff so that it would.
Guys.
Yeah, you know, it's like, this is so stupid. And I feel so bad there's a lot of people who found this as a way of, you know, making ends meet, especially during pandemic, or people who can stay home and do this work as a way of paying their bills, or people who are trans or disabled, you know, where maybe doing some of these other things out in public could be riskier,
right?
You know, or harder. You know, you can find your audience a little easier this way, you know, whatever it is. It's such bullshit. It's such bullshit. You know, and I know there's bigger fish to fry in the world, but at the same time, this is a big deal because it's still another way to treat sex workers as less than, and it's just bullshit because so many people, again, OnlyFans processes billions of dollars,
billions of a B.
So that's clearly means there's a lot of jerking going on, you know. And listen, during a pandemic, I think we all need a way of, you know, we all need whatever we need for some jerking, you know, as long as it's legal, you know, I'll say that. But wow, just mind blowing. It's like when it first broke that they were going to ban explicit stuff. It was kind of like my first thought immediately was like, maybe they should talk to Tumblr about this.
Right?
like
we've seen this before.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, the thing I hate on top of all this too is like, quick soapbox moment here. We've hit a point to where sites like Twitter are becoming, everybody's got to rush to the joke, you know, and Twitter's always been that way, but no matter what the topic is, it's, we got to rush to a joke. Like there's been so many people making I guess you'll have to get a real job type things. And it's like, yo, this is a real fucking job. You know, like for anyone who doesn't believe that, go back and go listen to our conversation with Dare Taylor that we did on The Enthusiast, and listen to all the shit she does for all her channels. You know, like that young lady is hustling
every day. I'm hustling,
and she's probably working harder. She works a lot harder than some other people. Anyone doing this online shit, it's a real job. Sure. There's a lot involved now. Hell, we do this like almost like another job, and we aren't even getting paid.
Just getting paid in the laughter of our fans.
I'm just getting so tired of how, you know, people want to make this joke, and it's like, hey, this is actually affecting people. You know, and I'm not saying we can't laugh at shit. I 100% still feel we can laugh at stuff. But I feel like what's happening almost is it's like instead of actually dealing with or looking at or facing something, it's like, ooh, let's make the joke. And then I think people kind of get desensitized to topics before they even have a chance to really absorb them.
Yeah, I could see that.
And I don't think that's a good thing. If I believe right, I said this years ago on the show, because I was talking about how I was a little scared about how like the Daily Show was getting people to laugh at things that maybe we shouldn't be laughing at, that we should be mad at instead. And it's kind of the same thing. I don't know. It's like I see all these people on Twitter, like they're sex workers, and they're like, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. This is how I make my living, kind of a thing. And yeah, there'll probably be other sites out there, but they got to go rebuild now. Picture if tomorrow you were like, you don't, like, someone just goes, oh, by the way, we're going to take most of your money away from you, and you just have to go figure it out.
The move would be like, you still do your OnlyFans, but you drop it down to free just to promote your other site.
No, you can't. That's in their terms too. You can't promote anything that's explicit somewhere else.
Oh, they don't. I mean, what if it's not explicit?
Well, that's the thing, though. Is
you use your OnlyFans to promote your other site, which that site then promotes your explicit stuff. So you have a weird buffer in the middle.
Which actually, well, funny you mentioned that, because that's what Linktree gets used for on Instagram. I don't know if you ever seen it, like, because on Instagram, they were cracking down on these women or sex workers that were putting their OnlyFans link in their bio. So everybody just went to like Linktree or one of those kind of services, so that you go there, then you go to the OnlyFans. But yeah, somebody will find a workaround for sure. But it just sucks. I hate the fact that, these companies like OnlyFans can't figure out a way around this and tell these other places to fuck off.
Well, money talks,
Sure does. Well, and it makes sense. Like, you got to have a way of collecting payment. So until one of these payment collection companies goes, hey, we're cool with it, but they won't, because the first time that money changes hands and it has to do with something like underage or this or that, and they're so terrified of that, which is understandable, that, they just got to stay away from it. So I don't know. I just, before I step off my soapbox here, it's like, I just urge everybody, instead of making fun of these situations for these sex workers and stuff, maybe try to understand what they're going through a little bit. And that, like I said, it'd literally almost be like you were like told, hey, in a month, you're not going to have a job, or you won't have this job. Sure, there's a position somewhere else, but you have to start at the bottom. Like, picture if you're like I said, luckily they have enough time that they can advertise, hey, I'm moving to this site or this site in the meantime. But, anyway, still a load of bullshit.
Yeah, I mean, I agree with the, don't make fun of these damn people. I mean, Brian, if I could, instead of spending 10 plus hours a day in a 100-degree building wearing coverings head to toe, smack my dong around for an hour on camera and get paid probably 3 times as much. Well, no.
Right, yeah.
All right, I'm a guy. Probably get paid half as much.
As much. That's true, because guys are willing to smack their dong around on camera for free. So you're going to have some game or something involved. Yeah. Yeah. I agree. I don't know. It's like I said, and that was why we wanted to have, someone who does this on our show, is because, again, I just feel like the level of disrespect for this is like all the people who don't see this as real work and look down on sex workers. Yeah. It's like, fuck you. Like, there's a reason that essentially sex work, it's been around a long time, and it's because it's a service people need / use, And I don't know, whatever. It's like, you ain't really hurting anybody. You want to go show your titties and people are willing to pay for it? Hey, get after it, Look how many years women were just posting their titties for free. Now they're like, hey, I can also get $5 or $10 a month out of this. Right. Get it. Like you said, if I could smack my titties around and get some money, I'd be on. I'd have it set up in a heartbeat.
Can I bring up something where the internet was actually doing something cool for a change?
Yes, please.
All right.
Please, because it's honestly pretty rare now.
This is actually, it's pretty dope. So there's this thing. It's called the Uncensored Library. Okay.
Okay.
It's a digital library that these guys and women, these people made in Minecraft, and it's full of like censored documents that anybody in the world can access, even if you live in a censored nation, because Minecraft is available worldwide.
Oh, that's wild. That's really, really cool. That's
and
a great.
It's an actual from what I understand.
It's also a good way to get Minecraft banned in those countries.
Like here, I'm just playing the trailer.
I hope
or
not,
whatever.
anyway.
But yeah, so it's like it's an actual building, from what I understand. It has you can go in there and you can read shit basically anywhere in the world.
I love that so much. Because people, we don't understand the level of censorship these other countries are in, where they can't get anything aside from state mandated, news. And it's like, and anyone listening, don't give me your bullshit about mainstream media and blah, blah in this country. I don't want to hear that shit. We still, even with that, we still can use the internet and go find things. These people can't. So that's really awesome that maybe somebody's giving.
It's brought to you by Reporters Without Borders, and it's basically uncensored news articles are available in books and
I wonder if that could work the other way, like if somebody wanted to get some info out.
I wouldn't be surprised,
because that also could be very useful and cool. So like I said, my biggest fear would be that as this gets attention, that those countries just shut down Minecraft.
Yeah, I'd be curious to know, but I'm like, there's so many servers out there now,
Oh, I know. Yeah, it'd be hard. It'd be real hard. The only thing they could do would be if somehow Microsoft got involved and shut it down, but I just don't see them doing it.
That either.
So, but good on those people for doing that. That's the kind of shit I love hearing about. It's like, how can we make something in the world a better place? That's awesome.
I know. I thought
good
that
on
was
them.
Really cool. And I was like, well, obviously I need to talk about this on the program.
For sure. Cause you are our Minecraft correspondent.
Sick.
So a quick follow-up to something we talked about a while ago. You remember how we talked about how Disney was, nerfing Boba Fett's ship's name, so it would no longer be the Slave One. There was, shoot, I got to pull this up here. There was I think it was a comic where they showed a bunch of, here we go, or a book. They talked about different names for bounty hunters' ships, and next to it, they had Boba Fett and Fire Spray, which led to people thinking that the new name of the ship is Fire Spray.
I believe that is the classification of the ship.
You are correct, sir. And I did not know that because, again, I've always stated on here, I am not the biggest Star Wars nerd. So, so it's funny because a lot of people immediately were trashing the name, which I actually think is a cool name. But I think they were just going to trash it no matter what, because it's not what I'm used to.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly what it is. It's Slave One forever.
Yeah. But I guess there was something that came out recently that has said that basically Disney's not made any official decision as far as whether or not to rename it. I feel like you got to name it something, though. Dude, listen, I'm looking at this list, right? Like Bosk has a name for his ship. IG-88 does. Zuckuss does. Dengar does.
Ship
it's like, come
isn't
on.
the Ruckus. Damn it.
It's not. It's the Mist Hunter. Bosk, I think Bosk has my favorite one, which is the Houndstooth. Dengar's is the punishing one.
Oh, jeez. That sounds like a strap-on.
Yeah. that explains its shape as well. His landings are always awkward.
He just nosedives right into the surface of the planet.
Yep. When he's flying in and he does the old back out. He's laughing like Beavis the whole time. Man. So anyway, I just thought I'd update that a little bit as I've read that recently. I do feel like they really need to update that. Maybe they'll approach it in Mandalorian season 3.
Yeah, that would make the most sense.
Well, because spoilers, he split from Boba Fett at the end of 2, so he went with the other Mandalorians.
Yes, he did.
So, but anyway, they could still potentially do something with that.
Huh.
Anyway,
yeah,
dude, I got. You know how every once in a while we talk about shit that we'll see on the internet and be like, "Yo, we used to do that same shit," or "Holy shit, we were onto that well before it was a thing." And not that this is like the biggest thing ever, but there's a video on TikTok that's been viewed 6 million times, and it's about something called an epic balloon game. You want to guess what it was?
Sit on the couch, keep the balloon in the air.
Pretty much, except they're allowed to move around and dive and all that kind of stuff, but it's the same idea. Exact same. And I'm not saying we invented this. I'm just saying that, okay, Tony says we invented it. So there's actually the guys, I think it's this guy and his brother shared an epic round in the Keep Up Balloon League, which, by the way, shitty name. Come on. That's the worst thing ever. But yeah, they've been playing it for a while and whatever. And, the goal is to keep the balloon off the ground while making it harder for his or her opponent to do so without any spikes, double touches, or light taps. So meaning you have to hit the thing, but you're also trying to play defense a little bit.
It's only cool if they're keeping stats and have a website and all that.
Oh God, I don't know if that's the case, but they could, I guess.
If it's been seen this many times, they probably will.
Yeah. Right, probably. But like I said, it's been around for a long time. It just makes me laugh because it reminds me once again, I just love how something that we actively did as kids or whatever, and then it's like, oh shit, this is this like viral sensation on TikTok. It's been on Sports Center. It's like, damn it. Like, every time I think, the flying spaghetti monster or whatever is up there, that there weren't cameras around when we were youth to capture some of the dumb shit that went on. Then stuff like this going, damn it, we missed our mark.
Viral, man.
Yep. But hey, kudos to those guys for
copying off us
for it. And the video is pretty impressive. Yeah, the video is pretty impressive. I will say this, the guys are, like they're doing shit like we didn't do exactly what they did, because like they'll hit the thing like one guy will like dive and hit it and try to knock it over something to where the other guy's basically got to jump over something to keep it alive. Yeah, like if we had done that, we would have probably wrecked furniture and been killed.
The way I look at it is, if you watch the way we did it versus the way those guys are doing it, it'd be like watching UFC 3 when we did it compared to like the current pay-per-view.
Yeah, that's true. We were very much rough in it. But I do remember, like it wasn't like it was completely innocent. I mean, I remember getting some pretty
road rash.
Yeah, a little road rash from the carpet or the furniture.
Or something,
Yeah. And somehow not breaking furniture. Because again, had we broken furniture, we would have probably been dead. We'd
both be doing this podcast in wheelchairs.
You're not?
It does have wheels on it, I'll be honest.
Yeah. I'm in a chair with wheels.
Fuck, we're cripples.
Nice. Wait. Man. So, did you watch the Spider-Man No Way Home trailer?
Oh, no, I did not.
Jesus.
Apologies.
I'm very confused in it, in that, the premise of the thing is like Spider-Man goes to Doctor Strange and says, "Hey, the whole world knows I'm Spider-Man. Can you make them not know that I'm Spider-Man?" You know, and Strange is standing there talking with him. Wong walks by and is like, "Don't cast that spell. It's too dangerous." And Doctor Strange is like, "Oh, I won't." And then he winks at Peter. And of course he casts the spells. And Peter's talking to him while he's casting the spell. So the only thing I can kind of think of is they're alluding to that basically Doctor Strange half-asses the spell because he's paying attention to Peter and not full attention to the spell. You know, that shenanigans will ensue, you know, fucking with the timelines.
My ass.
Yeah, that was kind of one of the things I was like, I mean, I know Doctor Strange is arrogant, but also I was like, I don't necessarily feel like he would have. I feel like he would have been like, yeah, if I do this, it could fuck some shit up. But then later in the trailer, he's basically like, "This is your fault, Peter," you know, and careful what you wish for or whatever. And I'm
Peter.
And I'm like, you're the one that fucked up the spell, bruh. like, what do you? I don't get it. But it is cool seeing, you know, obviously they're bringing back a bunch of, you know, they show Dr. Octopus and they show, I blanked. Wow. You see like an explosive ball like roll out and it's clearly Green Goblin. Yeah. And
it'd be cool if it was Green Goblin.
Yeah. But, you know, there's various characters in there, you know, that have been in previous ones. And of course, this is the one where it's like, I think Michael Keaton's coming back as the Vulture, and Jamie Foxx is going to be Electro, but I think it's not supposed to be that stupid blue Electro.
I mean, that would be cool because that Electro sucked.
Yeah, I hated that so much because, I mean, I always hated Electro's costume, but I always dug the character. But anyway, I don't know.
I got the trailer up for our YouTube watchers currently. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, it looks, you know. I mean, I'm definitely going to watch it because why wouldn't I?
Movie.
But
Marvel Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, I was going to say, and it's Spider-Man, and you know, for anyone who's not aware, Spider-Man's always been like my Marvel guy. So
he's got the proportionate strength and attitude of a spider or something.
Yeah, I guess that's what I've heard. I did not watch the Eternals trailer. I forgot.
I watched that.
I meant to. And totally.
Like I said, dude, I'm not in the loop about anything anymore. You know?
Yeah, that's understandable. Yeah. Have you seen or read anything about the what's it called, Star Wars Visions that's going to be coming out? It's like an animated Star Wars series, and shit, I forgot the synopsis and stuff for it. So I got to pull it up here because I'm very prepared, obviously. Because also helps when my computer's like, maybe I won't bother with anything.
Star Wars Visions? It doesn't involve Vision, does it? Because that'd be cool.
No. This is Star Wars, but it comes out next month already. I didn't realize it's an animated anthology series, and it's like, where is it? The initial release will comprise of 9 anime-inspired original short films. It looks pretty cool. Like the stuff I've seen for it looks pretty awesome. So I'm kind of excited for that.
Wow, I'm a little behind here. The trailer just wrapped up on the screen here. They have every bad guy you could want in this movie, it looks like. Yes.
The Spider-Man one? Yeah. Yeah. Spider-Man done fucked up.
That makes me kind of concerned. Yes.
About that many villains? Yeah, it usually doesn't end well when you have that many villains in a movie.
Like a little much, Brian. A little much.
Yeah. Right. Hopefully they'll be able to keep it straight. The part that's going to be tough, the multiverse thing very well could lose a lot of people.
For sure.
You know, because if it gets too confusing, it could be really tough. And Spider-Man's going to deal with it. Doctor Strange is going to deal with it. What was that? There was something else. Well, no. I was going to say Ant-Man, I think. because Ant-Man's got Kang the Conqueror in it. So I would assume there's going to be timeline fuckery in that. You know, so it's like there could be just a lot of jumping universes and stuff to where people are like, wait, what? I thought this, and now,
it's gonna probably get confusing to people. And the whole multiple. I mean, God, but they're so good. Marvel is. It's like,
I know, right?
Usually the multiple timeline shit fucks people. Like people get very disinterested, but Marvel's so good at what they do that I don't know.
Yeah. I think my biggest thing with the Spider-Man thing is it just makes you maybe just a tad more hopeful to see like an Into the Spider-Verse live action movie would be awesome. You know, I think that could be a lot of
this Star Wars
a lot of fun.
Visions, by the way, looks pretty dope too. Yeah,
doesn't it?
I like all the different animation styles.
Speaking of weird animation, did you know there's another Netflix He-Man series coming?
One? Why?
Yep, He-Man. It's called
He-Man. Why would we do this?
He-Man and the Masters of the Universe is what they're calling it, and it basically, as much as this, I'm real not hype on this one, because it looks like it's Prince Adam, like when he's young, gets the sword and the power, and it's like him and his teenage buddies fighting against the evil forces of Skeletor and stuff.
If they're just bros. And it's not what anyone's expecting at all. It's just them broing out.
Right. It's just really tough because it's like, in the like, we come from the age of He-Man to where like the only people that knew were like Orko, Man-at-Arms, and the Sorceress, basically. And it was like, now he's got like 4 buddies that all know. And I'm like, and this just looks like it's, and in the thing that whoever from Netflix is like, we wanted to reboot this and make it really for family and kids. I'm like, I get it, the Kevin Smith one's not for family and kids, I guess, but I don't know that you needed to make He-Man younger. You could have just made a good He-Man show, but maybe that's what the Kevin Smith one's going to be. Maybe they're trying to do
encompassing stuff
too,
here.
so that because
I just finished that yesterday, the Kevin Smith one. It was great.
Yeah.
And
I loved it. Yeah. And I love the cliffhanger they set up. No spoilers, but I love where they left it. I can't wait for the next group to hit.
I can't imagine people on Netflix going, you know what? We need more of this, but I want Prince Adam when he's like 14.
Yeah.
With his
I think what they were doing is
loincloth, making things happen. Everyone's like, "Whoa, Trevor, dude, easy, buddy."
You need to watch the trailer for this because He-Man looks way different too, and
I don't know if I want to sully my thoughts of He-Man anymore.
He's got like full armor,
like a
knight, stuff,
like a Knigget,
or a little more like that. Yeah, it's not full armor; like his arms are still exposed because sun's out, guns out. But
CCW, he's open carries, baby.
That's right. That's where he holds. That's where he shows off the power of Grayskull.
Exactly.
I don't know about that one. I was like, yeah. The thing is, I'll probably still give it a chance because He-Man. But do you know what? It leans to me. You remember that shitty He-Man reboot they did years ago, where it was like the new Masters of the Universe or something like that. I was like, it's just that's the level of hype I have for it.
Sounds like a lot of hype, Brian. Yeah,
we'll see. But and one last thing. Did you happen to see the images that Netflix put out for the Cowboy Bebop?
No, I did not.
Live action series? Dude, you got to look at those.
Fair,
speaking of something,
I was never really a big Cowboy Bebop fan, but I also never really watched it.
Oh, it's so good. You should watch it. Yeah.
This is not cast. What am I looking for here?
I don't know. Like
there you
just type in
reveals premiere date, first images for live action Cowboy Bebop. Bam.
Yep. I think it comes out in December if I'm not mistaken. So, or November. I don't remember. It's one or the other.
I guess I'm at the disadvantage right here because I don't know if these are good images or not.
Oh, yeah. That's true. I didn't think about that. Yeah.
I mean, it looks very cool.
It'd be cool if you could see there's the shots.
Abs for days.
The shots that they show are actually like shots from like, yeah. And I don't remember where, I don't have it, but wherever I first saw it at showed the side by side.
I'd like to see the side by sides. That'd be cool. Yeah. Oh, that's a fucking sick ass corgi. Huh.
I knew that would loop you in.
Corgis.
It's like Tony will be iffy until he sees that corgi. Then
corgis, I'll be honest.
Oh no. What are you doing, Tony? We're gonna get all sorts of hate mail now.
Let's see, I wonder if we're gonna do is Cowboy Bebop versus anime. That's where the side by side should be, right?
I guess. I can't remember which of the sites. It was some pop culture site, but I don't remember which one now. I saw it on Twitter. Usually I send myself like a link, from that to use for the show, and I forgot.
All right. Cowboy Bebop, now that I'm scrolling through these Google images, is not what I thought it was. What am I thinking of? What's the like the dude with like the rubber arms? He's like a pirate. What the fuck's that?
Oh,
One Piece.
One Piece, yeah.
Huh. Yeah, maybe I don't think I've ever watched this before.
I don't know where it's at right now, unless it's on like Crunchyroll or something like that.
If Netflix was smart, they would have it.
Yeah, I don't know if they do, but you're right. I guarantee whoever does have it will probably be like, hey, don't forget, I'm sure you've noticed Hulu does that a lot. Like where if something's similar to, or a sequel to something they still have the rights to, they'll be like, hey, we still have.
Right.
I remember when Deadpool 2 came out. I think they had Deadpool and they were like, hey, look.
Guys, you'll never guess what we have. Yeah.
Yeah. I know it's not the new one, but it's still good.
Just watch it. Don't be a piece of shit.
Just enjoy.
Or do.
Or doing whatever. Yeah.
I mean, you do you, right?
Yeah. All right. Well, that's all I got for the week, which I know has been quite a bit. So
I'm about spent.
There's a lot of stuff. All right. Well, let's move to. I have a very quick shut up and take my money, but I don't have a link to it.
My soundboard powered off.
So. Oh.
Shut up and take my money.
I mean, Nice.
What you got, Brian?
So I saw the other day it was announced that there's going to be a series of Samurai Jack pops coming out, and of course my nethers tingled immediately. Now I was a little disappointed in that they're from the new, like the final season. I was really I keep holding out hope for some of the characters from the original run, because like all they've made from the original run are Jack, Aku, Scaramouche, and I forgot the last one they made. They just made another one, and somehow it came out and totally slipped my radar. So I have to hunt the one down. But anyway, the new one's going to have like one of Jack where his hair is all down and whatever, and then when he's wearing like this armor is the chase for it, and that's easily the one I want the most, of course, because but there's some of the other characters from the new season, and they're good and stuff, but I was kind of like, I was like really hoping, it's like there's all these characters from the original series that are really
Scottish
they would
dude
make
with a machine gun leg.
100%. That's easily number one on the list. I cannot think of his name either, but that is easily the one I want the most, but whatever. Maybe this is a good sign. Maybe this will get to it. I just feel like I feel like they're coming out with the wrong lineup if there's a chance for more lineups.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like usually you want to come out strong because a strong lineup will get you a second lineup. I feel like this lineup, although it'll probably sell well, but it's like, I don't know. I'm kind of like, I'll get them when I can. The one I want to really get is the, like I saw there's one site that's offering the Jack in the armor and the chase together for like $35. And I was like, I might pull the trigger on that because that's not terrible for, because the chases usually go for about $25, so that's retail for the other one. That's not horrible, but that's about it.
Fair enough.
So, yeah. Exciting though. I was hoping for more. The only thing I can think of is that they're going to keep releasing maybe the original characters as con exclusives. Because as of right now, all of the original ones are all con exclusives.
Yeah, I can definitely see that.
Or, yeah. So, which kind of sucks because there's always that like, well, I hope I can get it versus just being able to go to various store and buy it. What are you gonna do? Woo. Yeah.
So I guess what?
Jeez. Yeah, I'm sitting here. I keep feeling like I gotta sneeze, and I don't want to because with this new mic, I don't have the ability to just turn it off like I used to do with the other one. If I had to sneeze. Yeah, I mean the only thing I could do would be to turn down on the board. I could turn my volume. I mean, I can mute the mic in Skype, but there's a chance that it won't work.
The listeners' ears.
Or just blow out the listeners' ears. All right, fine.
Week, we asked y'all, what crazy, flamboyant clothing would you wear? Well, Diamond fan. Top Diamond fan. I can't even talk.
Wow, you're a mess, dude.
Big Dev. He says, normally I would say to micro kimono, but I think this is more fitting. And he, of course, put in Sean Connery in the red leather bikini. Yeah.
Of course. Which is oddly enough very similar to the outfit that WWE has Karrion Kross in now. Yeah, except he has a leather mask too. Like he's the guy from Matt.
That's what I get for a
No. Carrion. Not Karen, Carrion.
Oh, like as in like a dead thing.
Yes.
I can't believe that Sean Connery wore this. Oh God, what an awful flat ass right here. Jesus.
Is there a back view? Oh my God! I'll be honest. I don't think I've ever seen the back view. Not that I went looking for it.
I'm just scrolling through Google Images just so I can bring up all this sexy for whoever's watching the YouTubes of what. And just picture this for Big Dev, and try not to get aroused. I am
too late. Yeah. Hopefully, Dev's got a better ass than that, though.
Jesus.
I hope he doesn't have a flat ass.
I don't know if maybe Connery was chasing one of those cheese wheels and just like went down the hill ass first, and that's just like an injury or something.
Just mushed it all out. Yeah, well, he was like, when he got asked if he wanted, wang or ass, and he chose wang. What are you gonna do?
Bitches. Sometimes you just gotta smack them.
Man. Yeah, it's funny because people listening that may know him may not know that he actually said
a news
that.
interview. Sometimes you just gotta smack a bitch in the face. She looks at you wrong. Something like that. If it was something like I'm just pretty sure paraphrasing.
Pretty sure you wouldn't get away with that now, but yeah. All right. Well, you have any others
on Facebook and on Instagram?
I got one from old Cheeto Bandito, and he says a classic Spider-Man suit. That's right, boys. A red and blue man boob showing, one nut hugging, fat rolling casing spandex Spidey suit, or maybe just a pimp hat, a big wide brim hat. Peacock feather waving, hose slapping pimp hat. Don't make me give you a taste of the back of my hand.
I mean, he's got the right tude. That's for sure.
Yeah. Agreed. So that's all I got.
It's a daisy. Well, I have a it's hack now, but I saw it on Imager, and I thought it might be fun because I don't think we've ever asked this of our audience before. But it's the classic. Fuck did it go? The last person, Brian, that you saw on a TV show is trying to rescue you. Who's rescuing you?
Oh, geez. I got to think of what I watched last night. Because I haven't watched anything today.
It's classic. It's old school. People love it.
Oh, my God. Do you know what it would be? Mine would be Neve from Catfish. Because that was the last thing I watched was Catfish. So I guess he's saving me from a catfish. Too bad. Too bad this wasn't in the past.
Nice. I have to say probably the last thing off the top of my head that I watched for sure was the Grand Tour presents Lockdown. So I guess it'd be, James May and Jeremy Clarkson and Richard, can't remember his last name, from Top Gear BBC would be rescuing me.
Oh. I wonder what they would be rescuing you from.
Probably boring programming because they're very entertaining.
I guess that's
even if you're not a car person, you can watch those shows and be entertained.
Yeah, because I'm not really a car person, and I haven't seen this new show, but I watched some of Top Gear forever ago, and it was entertaining. So, agreed. All right. Well, there you go. What was it again?
The last person you watched on TV is trying to rescue you. Who was it? And I would say, if you're on our socials, drop images. That'd be fun.
Sure, yeah.
Because I hope one of them's an image of someone I have no idea who it is. I can be like, who is this?
Also, I would appreciate it that I'd like it if you answer that you also say why, or like what they're saving you from. That's what I meant. Yeah, because some of these people would be like, all right, but what would they be saving you from? I think would be kind of fun too. Because, like I said, I think Neve would probably only be saving me from catfish. Exactly. So. Don't know what else he'd be saving me from, unless maybe like I was drowning and he's a good swimmer. I don't know, because I can't swim. So
no swimmies, no swimmies.
No, that's why I got to wear my water wings everywhere. Just in case. True. Never know when I might fall in a bowl of soup or something. Family Guy bit. I forgot. Did you watch the new episode of What If?
Of course I did.
I'm sorry. What if? As the Watcher says. What'd you think of that one?
And it was the star power in that one was phenomenal.
Yeah, it definitely was something, knowing that that's Chadwick Boseman's last performance as Black Panther. Right. That was. Yeah, they got a lot of the characters people that are the actors to do the voices on the show, which, like I was telling you with Disney, I really dig that they were doing that in the Star Wars shows,
because it helps continuity too.
Yeah, like there's some, like, I know Iron Man's not going to be Robert Downey Jr. I can't remember who's going to be cast in that instead, and there's going to be some, like Drax was not Batista, it was I can't remember. I looked it up, I can't remember who it was now, but I really dug that episode. That was kind of fun. I love they take quite a bit of shots at Star-Lord and stuff. Like some of the jokes and the Easter eggs in there, and Spurler. Howard the Duck just made my night when I was watching. Because I'm like, as soon as they did it, and Seth Green did the voice of Howard the Duck. And I was like, oh, God, I really hope there's a Howard the Duck series coming. There's been a comic for a while. They brought it back, and it had some good, funny stuff in it. So it's like, I would love for that to come back.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Clean fun. Yeah.
Yep. Agreed. No post-credit scene in this one, though.
Watched it.
Yeah, I did
That's
too.
the funny thing, is I paused it, and I was like, holy shit, there's so much time. And then you're like waiting and waiting, and then it goes into like, it reminded me of Monty Python Holy Grail, when it goes into like the Swedish, credits and the llama credits. And
it's weird how streaming stuff does that, because sometimes it's not there, and then you'll be watching a show, and then it's like all of a sudden it's got to go through like 19 countries of voiceover work, and you're like, why is this showing now?
It was wild.
I did the same thing. I paused it, I think it was because they have the tribute to Chadwick Boseman right at the end. Like there's not, I don't think there's like a gap. I think it's right at the end. So, which was nice. And it was great. I mean, he's awesome as Black Panther. It's, sad that, he died so damn young. Very, very. So, yeah. But anyways, definitely enjoyed it. Can't wait to see what tomorrow is the new one.
Wait.
So can't wait.
I shall be watching it.
Yes. Yeah, me too. So, all right. Well, there you go. I think that's a pop culture heavy episode of this show.
Wasn't it?
Also a baseball heavy. Ooh, boy.
I mean, if we talk about baseball for 15 seconds, it's heavy.
That's true, yeah. Especially if it's not me talking about baseball. Oh, man. And just in case you thought I was going to get away, you were getting away with no wrestling references this week. I was so happy to see CM Punk back with in wrestling and showing up in AEW, and the crowd, went they were in Chicago. The crowd went bonkers for him. And my favorite part was that he paid for an ice cream bar for everyone in the crowd out of his own pocket. Do you know the story of him? Like when he was in WWE, he was trying to get them to bring back ice cream bars. Like you remember the ones from our... Yeah, he was trying to get them to bring them back, and they would not do it for some dumb reason. So now that he's with AEW, like the first thing he did was get like ice cream bars made, and they gave them out that night. Yeah, which I thought was a real cool touch. So, and he took some hard shots at WWE, which are very well deserved, because there's a lot to criticize there. I mean, they're the big dog. They've been around a long time, but whatever. It was just a cool moment to have him come back, even though everybody knew he was going to be there and everything. But as soon as Cult of Personality, which is his intro song, as soon as, and yes, the one from Living Color, as soon as that hit, the place went pretty bonkers, It was nice too, like it's nice having wrestling crowds back for that. Can you imagine if he had come out and there was no crowd? I mean, right? It's like, I mean, they would have held him off until there were crowds. You know what I mean? It's like, just like WWE, their pay-per-view this past weekend, Brock Lesnar came back, and they were holding Lesnar back until they had crowds again.
Quick. Just because one of my coworkers asked me about it, is Lesnar's hair ridiculous now?
He's got a little. It's long enough that he can pull it back into a little tail on top of his head. You should look it up. It's actually kind of funny. But he is rocking the beard again, but it's not full Viking beard like he had. Like in UFC, it's a little shorter one, but he's rocking the beard again, and he really needs that because he's a goofy looking bastard. Otherwise, I would not say that to his face because he'd kill me. But
fair enough.
Your face doesn't have to look tough when you're, as athletic and violently strong as he is.
I mean, it's true. It's true. Yeah, because like a guy I work with was like, "Hey, man, do you watch wrestling?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I used to, but not really." And he's like, "You see Brock Lesnar's hair?" And I'm like, "Why would I see it?"
Because it's different. Brock Lesnar's had the same hair basically forever. He's, as long as I can remember, he's had that kind of flat top that he was rocking, but now he's got this little cute, a little tail on top. I feel like he needs to grow that out a little longer because it looks a little weird. But
yeah,
again, I wouldn't say that to him because he would murder me.
Right over Brock Lesnar's stupid face. Oh my God, pop-ups everywhere. Shit. Don't
you on a porn site?
I might as well be. No, I'm on K Jewelers has a pop-up, and I fell for it.
Oh, geez. Well, shiny things, right?
Pop-ups suck. Yeah, he. I don't know. He doesn't look like the Brock Lesnar I remember. He's got kind of like his face looks different. I don't know.
Yeah. I think the beard's a good look for him. He should always have that beard, I think, because it just makes him look more like he's going to tear someone in two, even though, like I said, his body language will just do that as he's tearing them in two. So
inaccurate.
I'm no fan of Brock Lesnar, but I respect the athleticism and talent,
Yes. Yes, quite.
See that cat creeping around behind you.
I heard it. Yeah, get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. You lovable thing that's adorable. She's a good cat.
Right. Yeah, she is. Right. Well, there you go. That's our show for this week. So as always, head over to saltylanguage.com, click on all the links, do the things, whatever. You can find the link to the network we're part of. Tangent Bound Network, which can be found at tangentboundnetwork.com. Go check out the other shows on there. Tell Mark that Tony misses him. And if you want to start your own show or looking to be like a radio kind of host or something, I think they're still looking for people to do that on the relaunch of the network. So go talk to them about that and have some fun or whatever. I don't care. Don't. Whatever.
Do it. Or don't do it. He's right.
Jeez. And what seems to be our shout out of the week to our pal Jacob Gibbons posted a video about was it Helmet, I believe it was, and got the old like, and I don't remember as a follow, but he got the like from them as well. Got Smashing Pumpkins.
Jacob.
I love it. I got to reach out to him. We got to get him back on here. Yeah. I want to talk about this. This has got to be a real fun thing for him that he's doing. Yeah, seriously. So kudos to him, though. Couldn't happen to a nicer guy. Go check out his stuff. I cannot remember his link, but I think it's like the Jacob Givens or yeah. So, and definitely, go check out the Past Enthusiast episode he was on. That was a lot of fun. Anyway, if you want to reach out to us on the socials, as I'm for some reason slurring my words.
Sometimes you're gonna smack.
Apparently I'm just having a stroke over here. Jeez. If you want to reach out to us on social media, you can find us on Twitter at salty_language. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at StuNami.
On Instagram at The Monotony. And, find Salty Language on the face page. Like Brian just said, the Twitters. We're on TikTok. We're on Instagram. We're on YouTube if you want to see the stuff we're talking about or see the dinosaur head that guards my office chair.
Which is oddly enough not
oddly
me.
Enough. I mean, I think this head might be bigger than yours. It'd be a challenge.
It might be. It's pretty close. You know what we should do is like next time I'm over is get a picture of me next to it and then enlarge my head so that they're actually
Brian, enlarge your head.
I'm sorry, shrink the other one. Well, let's air out of that one.
Yeah, Salty Language Pod on YouTube as well. Smash that like button. Click the bell. Whatever the kids say these days that have channels. I don't know. Like
you sound so with it, Tony.
With it, there'd be like graphics. Like I'd be like, smash that, and there'd be like some explosion on the screen, and ring the bell, and some hunchback would come shuffling across.
That would be great, actually. I don't know how to make that happen, but if someone out there
or patience,
if someone can make that happen for us, please let us know, because we are not the people to do that.
Hell kind of thing. No.
All right. Well, there you go. So until next week, have a beer. You'll be fine.
So salty, everybody.
Except for when you're on the internet, like maybe let's just take it down a notch. Like let's just Take it easy.
Ride. Take it easy.
Take it easy.
Yeah.
Take it easy. Tranquilo. Sorry. There's a wrestler named Andrade that he always does that to people. He's like, calm down. He's like, tranquilo.
Sounds delicious. Nice glass of tranquilo.
Yeah. I don't think that's what it's meant for. You know, real quick, I know it's wrap up shit, but so there was a match with Rey Mysterio and his son on SmackDown, I believe it was, at the pay-per-view. I don't know. Anyway, it was on TV, right? So during the match, there was a sponsor from a I don't remember. Was it El Presidente or something like that?
Nice.
Some cerveza. And basically they advertised during his match. And I was like, wow, that's really targeted given that he's Mexican, you know, like, and they're a Mexican cerveza. So it was very much like, wow, that's interesting that, you know, they picked this point of the show. You know, I'm sure it was on purpose. It was just, I think there's some contest or something that's being done with him to where it's all tied together. But it was just kind of funny that it was like, at first I'm like, is this racist? And I was like, oh, he's actually part of a promotion with them. Racist. Okay, no, it's not. It's like, this is like, you know, hey, WWE, we want to get our cerveza on your show. And they're like, we got a perfect spot for it.
Once these little mass dudes start flipping around, people get thirsty for cerveza. Am I right?
We're going to put you right there. Like, okay. I mean, we're trying to grow our brand, but all right.
Just Vince McMahon just like, say it with me. See. See.
Oh, God, I can totally see him. He's probably that guy too, right? Like that he goes to restaurants and he tries to, like, he only knows like 5 words in another language, but he uses them every time he's at the restaurant, you know? Like cerveza, he never orders a beer. It's always uno cerveza, per favor.
Exactly.
You know,
mi gusto.
And then
cerveza, sí. Like this is stringing out words that makes no sense.
The server just rolls their eyes. Yeah, okay, Mr. McMahon. They know what he's
Duolingo,
ordering.
Guys, you see that?
Yeah, he only stuck with it for the free trial.
Like his phone still yells at him. Like, clearly these alerts aren't working, Mr. McMahon.
$9.99 a month. Forget that. You know, the guy's a billionaire, but
doesn't want to spring for Duolingo.
That's what he's right. Oh God. The sad part is I could totally see this. I could just totally see him being that guy. Let me order for everyone.
He's interviewing, like, you know, Mexican wrestlers to maybe come into the organization. He's like, I provided a plastic sombrero of chips and salsa as per tradition.
Oh, no. And cold cervezas for my amigos.
Let us cheer. Yeah. Clink. See.
Oh, man. I could totally see this happening too. It just feels like he'd be one of those guys that he thinks he's being, you know, like he's dressing in a, you know, certain way for, you know, depending on what ethnicity he's meeting with, you know, he dresses accordingly.
It looks like they're interviewing with like a bull, a matador, you know. He's got his legit matador costume on.
Vince McMatador. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
You see him walking into the office. His assistant's just like, oh, God, not again.
The swords.
Oh, man. Yeah. Come on into my office. And he holds the cape up. And Rey Mysterio is like, I'm not doing that.
You're fired. He's got to put a little, use his fingers like as Vince, horn to charge him.
Yeah, it's like, Vince, my mask doesn't have horns. That's another guy.
Your fingies.
Oh my God. I hope he's a guy who uses fingies all the time. Like the word, you know. All right. Well, there you go. Hope everyone's enjoyed.
That's like our post-credit scene.
Yeah, it really was. And done. Damn, I wish